Let's do a story time. And I think this story will help a lot of you out that are frustrated or just confused and disassociated with your health and fitness journey because there's a lot of information, there's a lot of stuff being pumped in your face. So I'll go through the reason why I thought this quickly. I just finished my Friday boxing session at home, and when I was very young, my mom drove me to a guy Dan's house. She had bought me my first boxing bag to hang in the basement in front of the laundry machine. And in the basement is where I started to train. My dad had a heart attack when I was 3. My sister was around 1 or just under 1. And he always trained, and I just followed in his footsteps. And when I was 12 years old, he signed me up to the gym. That time, I don't know what the laws are now, 30 some years later, but if you were 12 years old, Bally's Fitness then in our neighborhood, an adult could sign you up to the gym. And I would go after I would do my after school stuff or sports or exercise, friends, whatever it was. I would walk down to the gym to get a session in there. And on the way going down to the gym, across the street was a bar, and there's a bar that's still there. When I would be walking to the gym around 5:30, 6 o'clock, 6:30, whenever it was, after I got my stuff done, there would also be the people after work walking to the bar. And a lot of people came to this bar. It was the bar in the neighborhood for hundreds and thousands of people serving that area. And they didn't want to get DUIs, so a lot of them were on foot. And I know all these people from the neighborhood. And I noticed through those years when I was in the gym, and it took a big influence on me when I used to see older guys that looked good, had nice cars. You could see they had a pretty girlfriend, a pretty wife in there, and they had their shit together. They were happy, they were confident, they looked like they were really enjoying life. Compared to the miserable people in my community and family that would be given a whole lot of advice, but would look like shit, would have a shit relationship, have nothing to show for their life. And through those years, so I started there at 12 years old, 18, I was shipped off to prison, so that was a short run, it was 6 years. I would see the same common people going to the gym, and the people that were in the gym and the people that I would see over and over again walking to the bar, massive difference. The people that were going to the gym never changed. Their skin, their bodies, their mood, their attitude, through all the things that were going on in the world. Crime, crises, economies, especially where we live there in the Philadelphia, greater Philadelphia area, it's a lot of problems. And the people that I would see from the neighborhood going to the bar, in those 5-6 years, they aged 20, 30 years. Their faces, their hair, their skin, their bodies were decrepit in that short span of time. And the point of this story is that back then, there was no internet, there was no fucking social medias, there was no products. You could go buy some crappy protein powder that tasted like ass back in the day. It just tasted like sawdust. And that was about it. They sold some vitamins, creatine wasn't even that popular. There wasn't any influencers pressing products or all these stipulations and all these hacks. People just got it. You know, fitness and health was easy. It was simple. You just did a lot more good things than you did poor things. You ate more whole foods, balanced meals. You weren't trying to mitigate or replace a poor habit of junk food eating and sweets with chocolate protein cakes and cupcakes and all these things that are out there now that are just keeping you right on the edge of feeling like you're doing something and trying to help you lose a couple of pounds. And I'm not saying that those things are bad, because I use them with clients, and there is success with those type of products to help people that really have a bad sweet tooth and have poor eating habits or stress eat or emotionally eat. But it's the root cause. It's the root cause that you need to get to really solve your problem. It's not putting all these band-aids on it. And nowadays, every time I open up my phone, I am embarrassed of my fitness industry. It's all these people selling these band-aids. It's people that have no idea, no clue, no education, no anecdotal experience. They haven't even been able to change themselves, selling products and supplements and peptides to other people. It's people promising you that some sort of a special boutique multivitamin or injection or some sort of IV drip once a week or every 2 weeks for a couple $100 is going to change you. It's not. We're a 150,000-year-old species. You need some natural light. You need some nutrient-dense foods. You need some movement. Less TV, less scrolling, more movement. You need to do some resistance training. However you see fit. Back in the day, people looked great. The kids weren't obese in school. You didn't see what you see out there now. And nobody even knew. There was no YouTube. There was no social media. Like the people that didn't know how to hypertrophy train like we did would just go in the gym. There would be 30 machines set up in a circle in like the non-Olympic room area. I remember at Bally's, and everybody would do 2 sets: leg extensions, hamstring curls, chest press, shoulder press, pull downs, rows, bicep curls, tricep. They would just do 2 sets of everything in 35, 40 minutes, go walk on the treadmill, go stretch, do whatever ab exercises they could copy off somebody else. And they fucking looked great. They weren't searching for the next hack. They didn't spend a fucking penny, $1 outside of their gym membership. And back then there were even lifetime gym memberships. Anybody from back home will remember that, for cheap. That's it. That's it. That's it. There was the people that went to the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week after work on this side of the street, and there was the people that went to the bar 3, 4, 5 times a week to smoke cigarettes and eat fried foods and drink alcohol and watch sports and watch games and gossip and see their heroes. And then there was the people that were like, I'll check the highlights, but I want to be in shape. I want to be able to admire myself. I want to get the compliments. And it's that simple. That's it. The more I get involved with people's lives and they're busy and they really are trying to accomplish good things and take care of their business, their relationship, their children, the more emphasis I put on this the last couple of years of how to keep it simple, how to keep it basic. You don't want the crutch. Stop believing life has crutches, because without that crutch, you fucking collapse. You got to learn to stand up on your own 2 feet and figure that shit out. You don't need a drug. You don't need a peptide. You don't need fat burners. You don't need GLPs. You don't need any peptides to not make you hungry, to kill your appetite, to boost your metabolism while you're sitting the fuck still, unless it's coming from natural muscle. Like, go sit in the garage and step on the gas of your car while it's running to burn fuel and see what happens from the carbon deposits. Like, I'm not going to get into the engineering factor of it, but it's the worst thing you could fucking do to an engine. Just keep it simple, keep it basic, and get really good at the basic things. You'll get 99% of your results. And then if you want a little bit more, you want to get a little bit faster, a little bit stronger, a little bit leaner, take a blood test, see what's missing, see what you can improve on, and then invest into some supplements or go to an HRT clinic. But it's not going to work for you. If you are not doing the basics, it's just a waste of fucking money. I promise you. I work with multiple clinics around the world. I do a lot of their outpatient clients. I'm not going to blast anybody or say any names, but you're just a number. You're just a number. We want 200 men and 100 women to pay somewhere between $1,500 to $2,500 a month to be able to, be involved with that place. So you do the math of that. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Just from that, not consultations and everything else. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars going into a small office space. And a lot of the time, in most of these places, you're not even getting FDA approved peptides. You're getting bio-research junk sent in from China and compounded. So just use the natural stuff. You'll get the best out of it, I promise you. And just keep it simple. Don't let social media, don't let these fucking greedy people making you feel insecure, like you have the missing link is somewhere out there for you. Serve that part of you. Fulfill that yourself. You'll get 99.9% of it all done by yourself. And don't even worry about that last 1%.